everybody. It's Helen Alli again. Many of you know, I'm running for Congress, the House of Representatives, 7th District in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And I love to do these interviews with special people that I feel should be highlighted so that we can learn different things. And the whole idea is to try to make our community the best community we can be. And so last week I was at a restaurant and I was pitching my campaign to anyone who would listen and trying to get people to vote, trying to get people to also vote for me. And I met a gentleman who had voted for Trump in November. And so we had an opportunity to speak. And so he agreed to speak with me here today. So I want to introduce you to Eric. Eric, say hello.
Howdy, howdy.
So Eric, initially in 2012, you voted for Obama.
Yes.
In 2016, in the primary, you voted for Bernie.
Bernie Sanders, yeah.
And then in 2016 in November, you voted for Donald Trump.
Correct.
What happened before? Were you a voter before President Obama?
Yes, I believe it was whenever John Kerry and George Bush were running. I was going to vote for Bush, but I was not able to because of my eligibility to vote. I believe I just turned 18 and I wasn't able to vote then. But I was going to vote for Bush for the simple fact that he had the war effort continue to go strong. I don't know what that meant at the time, but I knew it was something vaguely promising.
Okay.
So that was the social sentiment that I felt at the time.
So when you grew up as a child, what was the norm in your house?
Norm, just make sure all your family's fed, make sure your bed's made, and if not, you get an ass whooping.
No. No, I mean as far as voting, how did people vote? How did your parents vote?
They didn't.
Oh, they didn't vote?
No. That's what I was like, that wasn't the norm back then.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Okay. So when you turned 18, you just decided you should be patriotic and vote.
I should at least be conscious of my effort, is what I felt.
Okay. And so when you looked out there for your first time, you thought George Bush was the best candidate.
No.
No?
No.
Well, what were you going to vote for him because of what?
He was consistent in his ability to lead.
Okay.
That was it.
That's the only reason why you wanted to vote for him.
Well, he already had his team, and his team was functioning as they needed.
Okay.
So that means he has a competent team. That's what I felt, anyway.
Okay.
And this is all very poor observations of a misguided 18-year-old, so keep that in mind. But the fact of the matter is, I would have voted for Bush if I could.
Okay.
But I don't believe I did.
Okay.
But I know I got super close to it.
So what made you vote for Obama, President Obama?
He was and still is the hope of America, I feel.
So it was hope. You thought you felt hope and inspired.
No, everybody.
Everybody. Oh, yeah. Well, I definitely. A lot of people. Most people did. Yeah.
Anybody that hears that man talk and does not feel he's like as smooth as the cream cheese on my bagel, then they're clearly talking about the wrong person.
Okay. Okay. So leading up to Bernie. Now I voted for Bernie in the primary. Yeah. So what made you? What did you like about Bernie Sanders? What did he say that inspired you to vote for him?
It's not the things that he said, it's the things that he was consistent on. He was always consistent on the same message. He was always consistent on his policy, is what I felt. Anything he felt was wrong, he voiced it, and if he was made to be wrong, he would accept it, which I think is an important feature of any leader. Like the ability to accept they're wrong. Not enough leaders do that nowadays.
Right.
They don't accept blame.
Right.
It's easier to pass it off. Well, that's just how I feel anyway. So I don't know if that's the same as American sentiment, but I try to vote for my heart, but a lot of times I can't because I'm not allowed to. I totally would have voted for Bernie in the general.
Okay.
But yeah.
So okay, when Bernie didn't win the primary, what effect did that have on you?
Politics as usual is what it felt like.
As usual, just
I mean, I knew he was the popular vote. And you look at what happened to the popular vote in the general versus what happened in the primaries, it felt very similar.
Okay.
Because Hillary won the popular vote, if I remember right, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And Trump won by electoral college, and everybody
Right.
felt cheated on.
Right.
Even I felt cheated on.
Okay. So were you getting? I'm hearing a lot about these. Do you have Facebook?
I did. I
did.
got rid of it 4 or 5 months ago now, 7 months ago,
Wow.
something like that. Because I needed to focus more of my time on training.
Okay.
Because I want to be a boxer.
Okay. So do you believe? I'm hearing a lot about all these targeted Facebook ads from.
Right.
Hillary's, saying all these different things about Hillary and saying all these, setting up all these false narratives.
The ones that I remember were mainly pro-Russia support, but I could be wrong because it was a while back. But I remember when I did vote for Bernie in the primaries, most of my feed did change to Democratic point of views,
Okay, gotcha.
which I thought was weird, but I could draw any kind of conclusion from that if I wanted to. I might have searched for Bernie one too many times, or Facebook just says, hey, yo, you voted for Bernie on Facebook. That's super cool.
Gotcha.
Here's all the Democratic candidates as well.
So, what happened to make you? Did you dislike Hillary?
No.
Didn't dislike Hillary.
No.
Did you see a lot of negative narratives out there? And so, did that cause you to go one way or the other because of what you were hearing? Or?
So when we met, we discussed the what my vote meant for or against Hillary, right? We voted, or I claimed it was the vote of incompetence versus corruption. You remember that?
I do kind of remember that.
So, and I'm not saying Trump is not corrupt. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination. What I'm saying is he's incompetent at hiding it. It's been very apparent, I feel, for America. They know something's going on. We can't put our finger on it.
But at the time of the general election, just going with what you knew then, you said it was what were your choices?
Bernie Sanders and...
No.
the general, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump.
And Donald Trump. But what did you think those odds were? What did you say? Corruption or...
Incompetence.
Or incompetence. So you thought Donald Trump was incompetent.
And corrupt.
And Hillary was...
Just corrupt. But extremely efficient at what she does and very good at what she does.
If they were both corrupt, in your opinion, then why didn't you vote for her?
Look what's happening now. Would we know any better right now with Hillary? I don't think we would. But with Trump literally spewing death threats at a North Korean dictator, which is kind of terrifying. I'm not going to drop any names or anything, but we had to be prepared for our actions because our words have actions in them.
I know, but that's where I'm getting stuck. I'm getting lost. Because
you don't want bad things to happen to America?
No.
I don't either.
I know those things are happening, but I'm trying to think when your choice was between Hillary and Donald Trump. Hillary being, in your opinion, corrupt but efficient. Donald Trump being corrupt and inefficient. Is it because she was a woman that you just went with the man? No.
America was set up to fail, is what I felt about that entire election. We weren't designed to pick what we want. That's how I felt. I felt very ostracized as a voter this coming election, way more than I ever have.
Really? How so?
I wanted to vote for vote for Bernie, and I did vote for Bernie in the primaries. I wanted to vote for him in the general. I know a lot of people that did. The fact that we weren't allowed to, because nobody really knows why, is slightly disheartening. For starters, I mean, I can concede that she won the election. That's for the Democratic candidate. That's fine. It's great for her, honestly. She deserved that, especially after what happened with Clinton and Obama. What was it, 2008 when she originally got elected? Yeah, that was kind of rough for her. And this is also rough for her. I hope she does well in whatever she's doing. I mean, I hope it's better than Heights, but at the end of the day, we can't dawdle anymore. We have to do something. We have to start speaking out, whatever we can.
So did you believe some of what Donald Trump was saying when he was running?
When he said he would drain the swamp water of, what was it, the White House? Something like that.
The White House.
He's technically not wrong because he's doing it himself.
He is the swamp.
Yeah. That's what I feel as well. But so he's not wrong. He's just an idiot, is what I feel.
But you believed when he said that he was going to do that.
Advertently or inadvertently, yes, he was going to.
Did you also believe that he would give health care for all?
No.
You didn't think he'd ever do that?
Not a chance.
Did you think he would bring back coal jobs?
No.
No.
If he did, he would give it to somebody else.
Okay. Did you think he was a racist?
No.
You didn't think he was a racist?
No. He's from New York. He can't be racist.
Okay. Do you still think that?
I mean, doesn't matter to me.
I just want to know.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. But I feel as a white person, I can be racist, so it doesn't matter what I do or don't do.
So do you think, with all we've learned right now, is he a racist?
No.
No.
And that's just how I feel, which may be very wrong.
Your opinion is your opinion.
Exactly.
And you should be able to have it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to say one way or another.
Yeah. Worst case scenario is you're going to call me a bigot, which is perfectly fine.
No. I'm not going to call you that. But if I do, I'll tell you right now.
But you gave me that look that one night, and I totally read it as such.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I totally deserve it.
Wait a minute. So let me get you back there.
Right.
Do you think he's a sexist?
Yes.
You definitely agree that he's a sexist.
And I definitely think he's a bigot.
And you think he's a bigot.
Yeah, I don't mean that like in a racist sense. I mean like he's just not smart enough to know the difference, is what it feels like to me.
Okay. So what do you think about the wall?
Which one?
Him building the wall.
It's not going to happen.
I mean, do you think we should have a wall?
We don't need one.
I don't think we need one either.
I've lived in Waco long enough in my lifetime to get cordial with our neighbors over there.
Would you be willing to spend our tax dollars on a wall?
If I'm building it, yes.
Oh, if you're building it for profit, yeah.
No, not even for profit.
Why would you want to build it?
Well, if it needs to be done, that's one
if
thing.
it needed to be done. But you don't think it
I don't think it needs to be done.
Do you have friends that are inclusive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean, define inclusive?
Like all races,
Right.
sexes. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this right now. I can do this all day, every day. I'm not racist, but now I can go on from there. Like, everybody knows that phrase and what it means.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, you know exactly what it means. So, yes, I do have friends of all creeds, sizes, and colors. If that's what matters the most. But I feel it doesn't, but if it does, then yes, I do.
Okay, but do you consider yourself a white supremacist?
No.
Okay. Would you?
I will say I was impressed with the fellow that came up in the news recently that managed to convert. His name was Davis or Dave or something like that.
Converted all those supremacists.
Yeah, like that actually went into KKK rallies and stuff like, and he got a robes, which was crazy to me. Like, that's insane. But more power to that guy. Like, more people need to be doing stuff that they're terrified of, because it's not going to be fun.
Right.
It never will be. But you have to enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Well, you have a really great ability to reach out across all kinds of lines. You're very open, and so I wouldn't see you as a person that would be small-minded and breed a bunch of hate. I just don't see you as being that individual. Mm-hmm. So with what's going on now, and you see all the hate, all the Charlottesville stuff, they're coming to Richmond with these flags, and they're coming with the monuments.
At the end of the day, this is still history.
Yeah.
It is our history, whether we like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it, but it does need to be preserved.
Mm-hmm.
I feel. If people don't like it, I'm going to be the white guy and say they don't need to see it. But on that same token, we should also remove it if it is offensive to anybody. Yeah. It should be in a museum of some sort. And it should just be collected. Like, I don't remember how old these statues were, to be perfectly honest, but I know they're old enough for it to matter, which is way more important. We can't destroy this piece of history.
Yeah, and no one wants to destroy them. They're just saying they should
I've
just
met a
put
lot
in
of
their
people
place.
that do.
Yeah, well, it hurts a lot of people because when they see
I know it definitely hurts everybody. Like, that was a hurtful time in our just country, flat out.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think it was totally fault of our own, but I believe it was self-inflicted. It wasn't pushed, if that makes sense. I believe everybody had. So what's the word I'm looking for? Are we still talking about the statues, or are we talking about the history of the statues? Or are we talking about just the entire movement?
Just the entire movement.
Because, like, there's about 5 different conversations I can get into right now just on that alone. And so, me being, if this is to go public, I could say things and they could be easily misconstrued. But what I will say is the statues are of prominent figures that are not viewed in a good light of America. Like Robert E. Lee is one of my favorite generals, but he is an asshole.
Did you know he was the most egregious, and that's why he got the statue to begin with?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what those crimes consisted of?
I don't.
You don't?
Well, I know some of them, but I don't remember them off the top of my head. But I know they're horrendous.
They're horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that he raped slaves?
Mm-hmm. But I do know other people did that as well.
Yeah, which means it's all horrendous.
Right.
It doesn't make anyone any better. But they gave statues
we're
to
just,
the people
who... Yeah, all we're doing is ostracizing those specific people is what I feel. We're not ostracizing the fact that they're worse slaves. We're just ostracizing the fact that these people did horrendous things and they were allowed to. It was a way different time back then.
Right.
We beheaded Saddam Hussein based on the stuff that he did. And he enjoyed every second of it, is what it looked like on camera.
That's a lot. I mean, I think the history is painful. It's painful for a lot of people, and I definitely think we should talk about it. But they basically removed those things from history books in school.
Yeah.
Like they have,
but
a line about it. They don't tell the whole story about it.
Yeah, that's what I feel is not fair because it's education to us. Mm-hmm. Like we have to learn from something. Right. I'd rather learn from my mistakes.
Well, I think they should tell the whole story in the books. I don't think we need to have huge statues in the public that we have to pay for.
I don't think we need
put
to
them
have,
in a museum.
Yeah, somebody's maintaining those on a daily basis. They have to make all the flowers pretty. Like that's a budget every single year, no matter how you look at it.
I don't want to pay that.
I don't feel we need to.
No.
But at that same time, we're still going to have to pay to move them. We're still going to have to pay to house them.
It'd be cheaper to just move them than to keep doing this upkeep.
As I said, I haven't run the numbers, so I have no idea.
Okay. So let's get back into this whole election.
Mm-hmm.
So there are people working 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 jobs now because of this election, trying to save people and save causes and save our history and fight for our democracy.
Right.
Me being one of them.
I try to do that as well, but I feel I'm limited in capacity based on what I want to do and what I can't do.
So would you vote the same way now?
So are you comparing me voting Hillary Clinton and Trump, and if I would vote Hillary this time around, or would I vote Trump? I would still vote Trump.
You would still vote Trump?
Because this needs to happen to America. We're not the greatest country in the world. We never will be for a long period of time. And we need to start accepting that.
So you want to see this just crumble?
I don't want to see it crumble.
It's going to crumble.
That's fine if it does. But we are still going to be here at the end of the day.
We are not.
Says who?
Like, starting wars.
I know we're starting wars. No, you say he and I say we. I feel I'm
not starting a war.
No.
I'm over here talking to somebody who said they voted for Trump.
Yeah, that's what I feel is like, regardless of if I voted for the man or even if I support the man, he is our president, is what we have to accept. The fact that I was able to get him in the office, that is what I feel, because that's the kind of guilt I have. It shouldn't matter. Like, I shouldn't have prejudices towards me. I will say the racist prejudices, I just say the prejudices in general, because isn't a prejudice just a bigoted opinion? That's how I felt if the word was.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about that you would do that again.
Yeah.
And the peril of our country. Yeah. Because do you believe we're in peril right now?
Yes. But I believe we are also doing it on our own accord. Nobody's stopping Trump from being the mad dog that he is at the UN right now. I believe we can all see that, and it's readily available on everybody's face.
What could they do?
Slap him. He is being a little ignorant, right?
A little? He's being ridiculous.
Yeah. I would slap him. I mean, I would probably get hurt really quickly by the Secret Service, but that's just me.
Yeah, but they're not going to be able to do that. Do you think he should be impeached?
If he has an impeachable offense, then yes. As of right now, it looks like it's going to be the Watergate scandal all over again.
So even with that said, you think America still needed this shake-up and wake up?
No, I don't think they need to wake up, no. I think everybody knows exactly what's going on. They're just too tired to do anything about it.
Wow, too tired to do anything about it. That's probably as accurate of an explanation as I've heard so far. It could very well be that they're just too tired because they should be I'm thinking they should be in the streets right now.
I would have been up in arms a long time ago if it had not been for the fact of the American people. There's just not enough outrage. Simple as that. Like, have you ever seen the movie The Network? Or have you heard about it? There's this one very fun phrase that I remember from the movie, and it's a great movie if you haven't seen it. But this news broadcaster, he gets the entire audience to stand up and to go to their windows, and he's in a studio, so it doesn't really matter where he goes. But he's like, I want you to raise open the windows, and I want you to yell, I'm mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore.
That sounds actually familiar, kind of familiar. I'm just
so
not
it's
sure.
a super popular phrase, and that was what started political dissent, and that's why people realize that angry people are terrifying.
And that's what you feel needs to happen.
That's what I feel needs to happen, because we're not going to take ourselves seriously unless we start becoming terrifying.
So let me ask you about this coming election. We have Northam,
Yep.
we have Fairfax, and we have Mark Herring for Attorney General.
Mark Kerry, I'm not familiar with him.
He's been our Attorney General.
Right.
So
I mean, I'm from Texas, so.
okay. So that's who I want you to vote for. Those three people.
And so
Because that
read
will
them off
help
to me again.
Virginia
Read 'em
and
off.
keep them from killing me.
So
you
who-
do realize that there's people that want to kill me.
Well, there's people that want to take my jobs, but I don't want to say as far as like they want to beat me up yet. But it's
You know,
gotten
people
close to.
want to beat me up.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really bad.
it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad, yes. And they want to beat up any brown people that look like me.
Maybe you should stop being brown.
Whatever. So I want you to vote so that we can say this date. Now, we do have a fight in America, and we have a couple of years to deal with the president, but
If that,
I know. Hopefully not.
hopefully not. But if that, I hope it's not longer. I pray it's not longer. I'm not a religious man, but I pray it's not longer.
Well, I hope not, because I hope America really does wake up and say, I'm not going to take it anymore. I really hope that's what's going to happen.
But until that day comes, we're still going to do exactly what we're doing right now. So what that means is in about 10 minutes, I got to go back to work.
Okay, quickly. Just very, very quickly. So, in you giving back for what you did to us, you're going to vote.
However I want.
I know, but how are you going to vote?
I know how you want me to vote, and I support your cause.
Okay, but you're going to look at those candidates.
Yeah. The thing I'm worried about the most is not actually being here to vote for you.
Well, no. Are you going to vote for me next year?
Yeah.
You are going to vote for me next year.
If I'm still in Virginia, because I want to move back to Texas and I want to help out Houston.
Right.
That's all I want to do.
Okay.
Because Houston needs our help the most.
Okay.
And then
That's fair.
right after that, it's definitely Mexico. Mexico, I got hit with 2 huge earthquakes.
You going to go there in Mexico and help them too?
Why not? I mean, we hire enough of them at my dad's company. We need to help them out somehow, right?
I agree. I completely agree. I think that's great.
I mean, if we have the humanitarian aid and they're willing to employ a company or even just house them so they can work for free or whatever they want to do. But I'm willing to take. That's the thing, is it costs a lot. It costs resources, flat out, just resources, and those are expensive. It's a commodity. We have to be willing to help Mexico is the thing.
So that's what you're going to do to get back to society. You're going to go and help Texas and
I'm going to
help
try to
Mexico.
help however I can.
However you can.
And that's all that matters. Like, I'm willing to fight for America. That's not important to me. Like, I'm willing to die for America. That's also not important to me. I've been shot at a couple of times. It's not fun at all. But the fact is, if you're willing to fight for a country, I think that's more important than, well, actually speak louder than words. So I have to actually be in boxing shape, I feel, to join the military. I finally got there now. I lost, what was it, 65 pounds? Yeah, 65 pounds so far. So I'm going, if Trump wants to do what everybody in America is eyeing him to do, then I might be joining the Marines shortly. But if not, I want to help out America, which I feel is way more important than starting another war that we don't need, nobody wants, and it's only going to fill whoever's pockets it wants to.
Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you talking with me today, and hopefully we will take what you said and decipher it and figure out a way to
use it
communicate with other people that voted that way.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I'm confusing, but I know you'll forgive me.
I will forgive you, as long as you vote for me.
As long. So long.
Vote Helen Alli. Oh, so funny.